The Romberg test is used to test balance and the presence of protective responses.
So you're going to ask the patient to stand with their eyes open. You're going to check for increased sway, loss of balance, which is pretty good. Then you're going to gently displace her balance and check if she has the appropriate protective responses. And then you're going to repeat it again with the patient's eyes closed, so close your eyes. You're going to displace her balance and see if she comes back, so she's good. There's an impairment if the protective responses are absent, sluggish, and she loses her balance. Ataxia is an umbrella term used to describe incoordinated patterns of movement that affect gait, posture, and upper extremity motor control. An ataxic gait is characterized by a wide base of support with arms held away from the body to enhance balance. Ambulation is unsteady and the patient appears to stagger as he or she walks.
To test for ataxia, you're going to ask the patient to stand with their eyes open, observe the patient's upright posture and their bodily sway. Instruct the patient to remain standing, but close their eyes.
The inability to maintain upright standing posture without visual cues is referred to as a positive Romberg sign. If the patient is able to maintain balance with eyes open, but not with eyes closed, proprioceptive loss is indicated.
The next test for ataxia is to have the patient stand again with their eyes open and gently displace their balance unexpectedly. Maintain a close contact guard to prevent any falls or injury, and repeat it with their eyes closed.
Impairment is indicated if the patient easily loses balance when displaced by the therapist. If the patient is able to maintain balance with eyes open but not with eyes closed, proprioceptive loss is indicated.
The next test is to have the patient stand on one foot with their eyes open and then with their eyes closed. Observe the patient's ability to maintain their balance and when it is displaced.
Impairment is indicated if the patient is unable to maintain balance on one foot.
The final test is a variety of 4 different things to do. So first I'm going to have the patient walk in a straight line, walk sideways or backwards, march in place, and walk on their heels or their toes.
Impairment is indicated if the patient easily loses balance while performing any of these movements.
Festinating gait is characterized by difficulty both initiating and stopping walking. Once the patient is able to begin walking, the movement patterns for walking are hurried. The patient appears to shuffle quickly. Reciprocal arm swing is often absent. However, sometimes the patient may demonstrate an exaggerated arm swing to enhance the propulsion of movement. The patient is also unable to stop walking once started.
So you're going to have the patient walk in a straight line, and you're going to observe how long it takes the patient to initiate walking. Once the patient begins to walk, observe whether there's reciprocal arm swing or not. Also know whether the patient's gait is hurried. While the patient is walking, ask them to alter their speed and direction. So can you walk a little faster, please? Turn right and keep going straight. Come back towards me. Stop. So you want to ask the patient to suddenly stop and observe the patient is easily able to stop or has difficulty. Can you march in place? Good. While the patient is standing still, gently displace the patient's balance and see if they maintain a close center of gravity. And we also want to know whether their protective responses are present, decreased, or absent.
Impairment is indicated if the patient demonstrates difficulty starting and stopping walking, if the patient's gait appears hurried and is characterized by small shuffling steps, if reciprocal arm swing is absent or exaggerated, if the patient has difficulty altering the speed and direction of walking, or if the patient easily loses balance when gently displaced and exhibits impaired or absent protective responses.